done it a few times, but
Yeah,
When I pray,
eventually.
I talk to God. I don't just pray. I don't go to our Heavenly Father. I say, God,
leave it as.
Talk to him like a friend.
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, what should I do?
Do you get me out of this ticket?
Okay, at 6 p.m., we'll call the meeting to order. First, we'll begin with our prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance, and we'll ask our City Attorney Chuck to do the prayer and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this opportunity together tonight. We thank you for this city. We thank you for this community. We ask that you bless this body as we deliberate tonight. Be with us as we make decisions on behalf of the city and the community. Please watch over our country. Be with all of our elected officials and guide them in their decision making as well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll have an approval of the minutes from the previous meeting, and I'm sure all of you have had a chance to look over them. Is there a motion to approve May 29th, 2024 special call meeting minutes? Angie, anybody? Were you talking?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the May 29th special called meeting minutes.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, let's have a roll call vote. Angie,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
and Bill.
Yes?
And Bill Whaley. Yes, okay. We do have one member joining us by phone tonight, Dr. Bill Whaley. June the 18th, 2024, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve June 18th council meeting minutes.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, let's have a roll call vote. Angie,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
and Bill.
Abstain.
Okay, and Dr. Whaley?
Yes.
Okay. The next item is approval of agenda or motion to amend, and we are going to need to amend the agenda. I think we have two items, the industrial park lift station, change order number 1, and I believe the council wants to move item under public comment, under 11, executive session, item A to the action items. It would be action item, I guess that would become action item number, or E. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the amendment to the agenda.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, let's have a roll call vote. Angie,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
Bill,
Yes?
and Dr. Whaley.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So motion, the agenda is amended. The next item, public hearings, we do not have any at this point. Consent agenda, there are no items. So we will begin with the presentation of the veto by city clerk for purchasing policy. And again, we do not have all 5 council members present, but I guess we will present it. And do they will not vote at this point, just like the last time, I suppose.
I mean, you could have a motion to override the veto, but of course the charter requires it to be done, unanimously, and we don't have everybody here. I don't know if there's further discussion on that agenda item or not, but.
Well, I do need to make a motion on it, but not on that, not on the veto.
Okay.
Um,
So I guess just
Yeah.
officially the veto will stand.
Okay.
So the veto stands, okay.
All right, but we do need to, Amy's last day is Friday, so we need to change her as interim. So I'm going to make a motion to change the interim authority under the current purchasing policy from the city clerk to the court and utility clerk, and confer the same authority on the interim basis.
Okay. And I will have to say on that, is there a second? And then we will have discussion. Is
I'll
there a
second.
Okay. Again, I stand by the philosophy that, as does GMA, that the original purchasing policy is in place because it cannot be changed verbally. But if you guys choose to change that, I still disagree with it because it does not adhere to our policies and to our ordinance, which says it has to be changed in writing and it can't be changed verbally. So, okay. You ready to vote? Is there any other discussion? Okay. I think that's Dr. Whaley. That was me talking. Okay, Dr. Whaley, do you have any discussion on that?
No, I'm listening.
Okay.
So it cannot be changed verbally?
According to the charter.
Well, according to the charter that you're talking about, you done it as interim too, so we'll continue to follow your lead on this.
Well, you guys appointed me as that, and then I realized that that should not be done according to the charter, so I made that very clear that you can't do that.
Well, you vetoed it twice now so that you can be on it, and we don't feel like you should with the decisions you've made. So I've made the motion. So
Okay.
if whoever wants to
Well, we
vote
can
for it.
continue.
let's vote.
We can
That'd be the thing
certainly
to do.
vote. We
Thank
can,
you.
yep. But again, I stand by my policy that it's not legal. Okay, let's have a roll call vote. Angie?
Yes.
Christie?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
And Dr. Whaley?
Tell me what a yes and no vote is, since I can't hear everybody speak.
Okay, Angie, could you repeat what you said?
Yes, I made a motion to change the interim authority under the current purchasing policy from the city clerk to the court and utility clerk and confirm the same authority on an interim basis, which we did get confirmation from Chuck that it is permissible to do that. Yes, and so it'd be shutting the city down since the mayor's vetoed.
So, but are you planning to appoint a city clerk tonight?
Yes, I believe so,
Okay.
yes.
I mean, you will have a city clerk, because you have to.
Yes, but, I mean, I've made the motion, so.
Okay.
I
and
think
we
we're
voted.
just
Yeah.
waiting on Dr. Wade.
Okay, Dr. Whaley, did you understand what we were voting on?
My vote is to continue with what we are doing until we come up with an appropriate ordinance to change it.
Okay. So I guess that would be a no. Okay?
A no? So does that mean he wants to continue with the interim till we get it changed or not?
He just said,
I didn't understand it.
Angie doesn't understand your vote.
Wants to continue with the interim till we get it changed or not. I didn't understand it. Angie doesn't understand your vote.
My vote is no.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. The next one, under action item, is action item B, AirMed Care Renewal. And have you all had a chance to review this? This is just simply a renewal on that for the citizens. Do I have a motion to
I
renew
make a
it?
motion to renewal.
Okay, is there a second?
A second?
Okay, we'll have I think we had 2 seconds, but.
I don't think people know that we offer this. I was so shocked to see
Very
that.
few people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, it'd be good if we've talked about sending it out maybe with bills to let people know, because hopefully most people look at their water bills. Do you have a suggestion?
Could you explain in more detail for us to understand what motion is being made right now?
Yeah, so the city actually pays for AirMed for citizens of the city, like, I know you live in the city. So if you have any type of issue where you have to be flown to another trauma unit, hospital, then the AirMed pays for that. And so what the city does, we pay a very small amount, I think it's a very small amount, as compared to what it would cost, and it covers every citizen in the city. And it's a very good service that is offered to our residents. And the county, they offer it too, but I think they have to pay, citizens pay for that. But
Who was over that budget?
that would come out of general funds. Yep. So it's just, and we've been doing it for probably gosh, I've been on the council 14 years. I know it probably at least 10 years. Don't quote me on that. That could be wrong, but it's been quite a few years.
Who makes the decision to release those funds when that is needed?
AirMed, actually. So you have to, yeah, you have to contact AirMed. You give them your bill, in essence. I know we've had several people lately who've, you know.
You have to be registered with AirMed to be
Nope.
able to get that.
Nope, you just have to show your citizenship. Yep, that you are, like your address would be an address in the city. And you're registered to vote in the city, but you have to have a city address that's within the city limits. So, okay,
And it's only $4,600.
yeah, which is a great service.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You're welcome, you're welcome. Okay, so we've had, let's do a roll call vote on that. We'll start with Bill Bivens.
Yes.
Christie?
Yes.
Dr. Whaley?
Yes.
Okay, and Angie?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we need to also, this was not voted on last month. I think we had, a council member didn't want to vote on it, so we didn't have an affirmative vote of 3. So this is actually the 2023 final budget amendment. Pretty much if we don't vote on this, it's going to show up in the amendment through the auditors that the council chose not to vote on this. So it's going to be written up that you guys didn't vote on it. It was presented to you to vote, but you didn't. So we always have budget amendments because you have to zero out. So you don't want that to show up as an issue on your audit.
We always have budget amendments.
Okay, let's turn that down. I'm hearing myself speak twice, sorry. So do I have a motion to amend, to do an amendment to the budget 2023? Okay, thank you, Dr. Whaley. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote. Bill?
Abstain.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it's $138,000, and I've just not got clear on it. I don't have a good understanding of it, of what it was for. That's a lot of money, so I just,
So everything, let me go ahead and explain, everything that it was voted on by the council, these are things that you have already voted on in 2023. So many times you're going to have amendments to, I've never known a time when we've not had a budget amendment, because the budget is a generalized guideline. It's not a Bible to go by. You all understand that. So you've got to zero out it. You got to be zeroed out. So there are going to be times, like when we had the Bull and Gap issue, where we had to put another $175,000 back into the budget. This year, we're going to have to amend the budget because we have not spent some of the monies that were supposed to be spent, like on the restrooms. So that will have to be amended as well. Sometimes you have an over amount, sometimes you have under. So right now, we've spent more, but many times it's because of emergencies, things that have come up. But you guys would have voted on those things, most more than likely.
I came in Friday to talk to James, and James works from home on Fridays.
Speaking,
Oh, I came here on Friday and speak to James, and he doesn't work on Fridays.
yeah, he works from home
Yeah,
on Fridays.
and so he couldn't answer my question. So Barb tried to help me, and I was more confused after she printed out some of the items there that,
Well, guys, you've had 2 months to address this, so I would think that you would have done that within 2 months instead of waiting till the meeting. But, so you want to abstain because you've not had time over the past 2 months to look at it?
yes.
Okay, yes? Okay. So he's abstaining. Christie?
I went over it with Joe
Yeah.
and I'm fine with it.
Okay. And you
Yes,
made
so
the
yes.
motion, so yes, okay. Dr. Whaley? Yes, okay. Angie?
no.
Okay, so we still have,
Can you put him up to the mic? I can't hear him at all. I mean,
so Dr. Whaley, they couldn't hear you. Bill Bivens couldn't hear you. Can you do your vote again? Yeah. Hold on.
is he on speaker?
Hold on just a minute, Dr. Whaley. Let me get you turned up a little bit. Okay.
Bill, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is what's called a housekeeping It's not a matter of any debate about facts. We are required by law to have a balanced budget. So when we move $2 out of one side of the budget to go to the other side of the budget that we approved for 2023 is then out of whack. And so what this amendment does is bring us back to a balanced budget. This is money that was spent last year, for crying in the night. It's not money we're getting ready to spend. This is not rocket science. This is a housekeeping matter. So there's nothing to abstain about. This is it's a fact. It's just black and white. We spent the money. We moved some from pocket A to pocket B. It's like taking some of your budget for food, putting it on your budget for heat. You got to stay within what you earned. That's what this is. It's not a matter of money we're going to spend. It's simply housekeeping the accounting features. Now, we have to go through an audit by auditors every year, and if we go to them with a budget that wasn't balanced, then we've messed up. So I don't want to go to them with a balance that's messed up. And can the city attorney affirm that what I'm saying is correct, and that we're not talking about spending money, we're talking about money that was already spent and that we already voted on?
And for example, sales tax, we actually had 90,000 more in sales tax than we anticipated, so we have to add that to the budget. So the amendment on that would go from 1.3 million up to 1.390. So that's a good thing. Fines. Well, we don't take comments from. I'm sorry. So. And then salaries and wages, for instance, if you look at your handout, we went over $6,000 on that. Legal expenses, we went over $18,000 of what we had anticipated last year, so we have to amend that to reflect what we went over last year in legal expenses. Same thing with, salaries and wages. We went over $9,000 in that, so it went up to 70. Overtime, we only went over what we anticipated, like by 1,000, so that wasn't bad. Maintenance and equipment, we went over $9,000, and so we have to amend that to reflect 25 instead of 16, and those are for repairs on things. So, like the city judge, we went over $1,800. We had anticipated paying him $3,600, but we went over at $1,800, so we have to amend that up to $5,400. So same thing with the solicitor. So that, which shows we may have more fines than we anticipated, having more time, I suppose. But those are the type of things that would have been, that you're amending here.
Well, I think one of the things that I had questioned about, and I think Bill did too, was the $214,900 looks like coming in from intergovernmental revenue SPLOST income, but then it was spent out on roads, drainage, and sidewalks, and I don't remember approving that much.
Well, if that was brought in as SPLOST, it has to go to, SPLOST projects have to be specific.
Right, under roads, drainage, and sidewalks, but I just don't remember.
And you would have had to have approved those in that amount, so.
Well, we would have approved them in the budget, but individually, $214,900, I don't know if that's a lump sum or if it's something else, so there's just,
Well, I think it's just showing in SPLOST funds you received an extra $214,000. You understand that, don't you?
Yes, but
More
it's
than
also,
we
it's
had,
got it,
yeah.
but it's,
Yeah. And then
I'm seeing though that it's total amendments and expenditures, so that doesn't mean, then it's saying expenditures here, doesn't mean that we spent that though, that we just brought it in.
Yeah, SPLOST is, well, it does say expenditures. With SPLOST,
so-
you have a certain amount of time to spend it. Is that correct?
Well, I don't
At
think we're-
SPLOST and with LOST, there is a time period of which, and you have to put it towards specific things that were voted on by the people.
Yes, we understand
Yeah.
that, but it looks,
Yeah.
from looking at this, it looks like it came in '23 and was spent in '23. Some, you know,
Yeah.
so, but what was it spent on is the question. So, because I don't remember approving roads. I mean, we approved the $1 million on the streets downtown, but that's the only thing that I remember.
Well, if it were in there, you guys would have approved it. Or it would have been within Eric's amount to approve.
Okay, well,
So either way, it would have been either within his amount. And if not, the auditors will catch it and they'll say, well, you know, you guys didn't approve this and the city manager didn't have, or city administrator didn't have the authority to do that. So that will be tagged as an issue with your audit. So what you're looking at here, if there's something incorrect, it will be caught by our auditors. What they're gonna catch right now is that we didn't amend this budget to make it balance.
well, I think we have to the end of the year, the fiscal year.
They started this in June. And he had asked for an extension already, so no, they're starting this right now, and then they'll present it to us at the end of the year. Casey Joe will come in here.
So there's two questions. One is whether the budget has to be amended, and then there's a timing question about when does it have to be amended. So we're on a fiscal year budget, right? Our fiscal year is January 1 through December 31. But we're also in the process of, I guess, having an audit
Yes,
done. And so if the budget doesn't balance, then that is something that would be flagged by the auditors. I don't know that it necessarily has to be done tonight, but it is something that would need to be done, you know, before the audit is completed.
James said that it needed to be done last month, our finance director, so he was very upset that we didn't do it and wanted it put on this one, because it is time that it is done.
Okay.
And I'm trusting what the finance director has told me.
And I'm not questioning that. I'm just saying that's the consideration on the timing is doing it, you know, before the audit is completed. But in terms of Dr. Whaley's question, you know, sometimes they're amended before and sometimes they're amended after the fact. For example, if there's an anticipated expenditure that we didn't consider at the time the budget was adopted, then a lot of times you'll amend the budget to allow for that expenditure after the fact. If there are revenues that are greater than what were projected that aren't in the bank, then you'll sometimes amend the budget, you know, after the fact. So there's no real magic in terms of that. Either way is appropriate. It's just something that needs to be done, you know, ideally before the audit is completed, so it's not flagged as a finding in the audit, because the implications for that is it affects the city's credit rating and other things like that. So if it's not done tonight, I would recommend that we do it sooner rather than later.
Well, does this mean that the $214,900 has been spent? Because they've got a $700,000 budget.
It says expenditures, yeah.
So we did spend $914,900?
Question, please.
Yes,
Did you hear me?
yes.
Did we or did we not end up with a surplus?
From SPOS.
Yes. I think that was rolled over, I believe that had been rolled over to this budget, the 2024.
What I'm saying is that we have ended up with a surplus. We moved money from pocket A to pocket B. We got more in sales tax than we thought we would get. We may have gotten more in fines than we thought we would get. We spent $1,000 more in overtime than we thought we should, but we ended up with more money than we spent, and I don't see where this is rocket science. I move strongly that we quit picking at it and get it off the table.
Well, and as I said before, if there's an issue, it will come out in the audit. So, this is something that has been prepared by our finance director to balance the budget. If there's an issue with it, it will come out in the audit. So I'm not really sure what the problem is.
Well, that was my question. That's why I abstained, because I wanted to talk to James about it.
Okay. So are you ready? Can we do a revote on this then?
I mean, I think we have 2 votes yes, 1 vote no, and 1 abstention.
So, but if he takes away his abstention, can he do that?
I Bill,
Are
are
you
you prepared to
pre-
vote on it?
So we're saying we spent this $214,900.
That's what it says on your, yeah, on,
Okay, if it's saying that, then I'll change to yes.
okay, so, thank you, Bill. Okay, the budget is amended. Okay. So the next thing, and I think Becky, can you get Becky out here? So we got a call today from our city engineer, and he gave us some good news, actually, and I'm gonna let Becky go over that. So luckily came in at a time when we can vote on it today, and I'm gonna let her explain if you don't mind. You can go up there and,
So luckily came in at the time, vote on it today.
sorry.
As long as everybody can hear me. On our Industrial Park Road sewer lift station, due to, construction standards being different or construction, rock in the area being different, we're coming $393,000 under budget on the gravity and portion of sewer lines that were laid during that project. We would like to use that $393,000 that GIFA has allotted us to move into phase 2 of that project. The other option is you can allow that money to go back to GIFA and decrease the loan that the city has with GIFA. We have a 0.24% interest rate on this money. If we let this go back, we're not gonna get the same thing when we move into phase 2. It's already in scope of the project because we have this scoped out for 3 phases. So the only thing we have to do is give the contractor the approval to move forward. You guys will receive a change order at the end to sign for the allotted money, making up the total amount of that GIFA loan.
So it sounds like a no-brainer, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No question?
okay, which, that's very good news. Okay, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay. So he makes a motion to approve the industrial park lift station change order number 1. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, let's have a roll call vote. Bill Bivens,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
Dr. Whaley?
Yes.
Okay, yes, he said yes. Angie?
Yes.
Okay. And then the next item, we were going to move personnel to an action item. So I think we have several things to talk about here. Are you guys, do you have someone who you want to appoint as city clerk? Today is Amy's last day as city clerk, as she's moved to our police department full-time.
Yes, I'm gonna make a motion to appoint Joe Patterson as the city clerk, just following the guidelines of the charter.
Okay, and I think Joe has agreed to take that as long as he is made operations manager as well. Is that correct, Joe? Okay. Is that good with everybody? Can you make that part of your motion?
I've made the motion. So the motion to appoint Joe Patterson as the city clerk.
Okay. And I believe Joe will have the option to take that or not. Do I have a second, and then we can discuss it?
I'll second it.
Okay. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think Joe wanted to be, I think we were gonna keep him, of course, he's doing human resources, and we wanted to put him also as operations manager.
Well, he's, it's my understanding he's already the Public Works Director, not Public Work, Public Works Director. So, he can just do what he's been doing.
I guess the Public Works Director position, is that in work for you, the title? Okay, well, can you amend that to make sure it includes Public Works Director
But
as
he's
well?
he's already been appointed to that, so, that's his title already. So.
Okay.
So I've made my motion.
Okay, and we have a second. Are you satisfied with that? Okay, we'll have a roll call vote. Bill Bivens,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes.
Dr. Whaley.
Yes. Are we gonna raise the salary?
We haven't talked about that. Are you guys planning to raise his salary?
No.
He says, we have one, Angie said, no, I'm not sure if you heard her. Bill Bivens, Christie? I think we should as well. He's taking on a lot of responsibility and
Okay,
has.
well, let's just, yeah,
Discuss this in the back.
Well, we're not going to the back. Nobody wants to.
yeah.
That's why
I
we
mean,
moved
if
it.
we want to get out to it now, I mean, you know, I don't know that that's really,
I would, I
But-
mean, there's a motion pending,
Yeah.
and the motion is to appoint Joe Patterson as the city clerk. I think
I mean,
if there's gonna be discussion about, increased salary or a change in his duties, I mean, I think that would need to be part of a separate discussion. But there's a motion before the body that's been seconded, and we're in the process of voting on it.
yeah, and he is the park supervisor. That's his job. And then
Well,
he's
I
the
thought we said
utility.
Public Works Director.
Well, that's what you told this council. He's the park supervisor. And
Mm-hmm.
then someone pointed him to the Public Works Director. I don't think the council did, but somebody did. Maybe Eric.
I believe that
I'm
was
not sure.
Eric.
But, so currently, right now, that's his job. And all we're doing is assigning him to the city clerk to do what the charter says, which is just to maintain the city seal and the do
Public records.
public, yeah, the public records. So he's not really been added anything anymore. So if he doesn't want to do it, then the council can decide, you know, if they want to keep him in the parks as the park supervisor. Or, you know, we can figure that out at a later time. But right now, the motion was for him to be the city clerk and do the duties.
Well, I understand that. Dr. Welly asked the question if there's going to be a pay increase because he has taken on additional duties. So I think that's a fair question.
Well, he
to
took on
ask.
additional duties when you assigned your duties. Did he get a pay increase then?
Yes, he did.
Who authorized that?
Me, as per Chuck. Yeah. He said I could write a contract to give him an additional $250 a month.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, anyway, so,
Okay. So are you satisfied with that, Joe? Or, and possibly at the next meeting discuss a pay raise? Or would you like to? Yes, please.
That's fine.
Yes, I am willing to take the city clerk on. The reason, and I've spoke to each one of you, the city clerk is appointed by the city council. I've been here almost 17 years, and I wanted to make sure that I still had my job. That is the reason that I asked for something else plus the city clerk. I understand Amy leaving, and this was an opportunity for her to go back into law enforcement. I think that I can bring to the table what Amy has and continue. So, yes, I would like the opportunity to work with the council for city clerk and also work for the mayor. So I will be working for every appointed position of the city that the city residents has voted on yesterday.
And for all of you who don't know, I did appoint Joe, the charter allows me to appoint a current employee of the city, one or more, over administrative and executive affairs of the city. And you can appoint one or more, and I did that with Joe a while back, and he's been doing a fabulous job. I've gotten numerous compliments from people in the community, and how professional, what a good job he's doing. And, you know, if we're not willing to talk about a pay raise, then eventually I would like to do that with him because he definitely is doing a good job. So yeah, I think you can cover all bases with this and helping both the council and the mayor and staff. I think you'll be a well-rounded and hopefully be able to help us all. Okay. So, I'm totally lost. Where are we, Amy? Have we voted yet?
There was a motion and a second. Bill voted yes.
then Bill voted yes.
Christie voted yes. Doc
Dr.
asked
Whaley, it's a question. So,
Is-
Angie.
is Doc-
So Doc, are you prepared to vote now? Dr. Whaley? Yes, he said yes, okay. Angie?
Yes.
Okay. All righty, moving on to the next. So we have several positions open at City Hall in the office. I would like to appoint Robbie Cornelius to Tax and Licensing Clerk. Robbie has worked with the county for many years. I got a personal recommendation for her from Rita Newton, who is the outgoing tax commissioner. She spoke highly of Robbie, and she said that Robbie is very familiar with this job. She handles everything in Rita's office. She made her actually deputy tax commissioner. She uses the same software that we use. She does all delinquent taxes. She's kind of just a logical choice, and she wants to work 32 hours a week, and she does not want benefits. She does not want insurance or any of that. To me, she'd be a perfect choice. Not only that, she did serve as a city council person with me several years ago, actually during the last term. So she understands City Hall from every aspect and grew up in the city, still has property in the city. And to me, she's just a perfect choice for that position. So I would like to make a motion that we appoint, or I'm not going to make the motion, but I'm going to appoint her, and I hope that I have a motion from someone on the council to appoint her to that position.
Do we have somebody in the tax and
Okay, we do have the motion, and then we'll discuss. No, we don't.
Actually, we do.
Is there a second?
second?
Okay, so we'll have discussion on that at this point. Yeah, so we have Marja, who actually applied for city clerk position, but, you know, understanding that Joe has taken that position, I would hope that we could put her as the possibly zoning clerk and permitting, which is, I think Angie helped Mandy write a job description on that, so she would actually be zoning and permitting clerk.
Marcia would maybe.
Yeah, and that's kind of what she's doing now anyway. She's helping more with the permitting, and then you let Robbie come in on a part-time basis and do the taxes, and she would handle everything on that. And then Marianne Walker would be a deputy clerk and office assistant, helping Joe as needed, helping any department. She would kind of fill the floating position that was filled by the high school student who left. So those would be my recommendations, and I feel.
So on with Robbie, though, why, if she's part-time, is she getting full-time, 32 hours is full-time?
Well, she could
That's
work
considered-
less than that. She just said she would work up to 4 days.
Well,
So-
I think it would be better if she's not going to get benefits to be 30 hours.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd be
Yeah,
fine
so,
with that.
Yeah, so she's going to be part-time
Yeah.
with no benefits.
Yeah,
Okay. And. any
yeah, and
discussion on
she's
the-
willing to sign a waiver. She doesn't, you know, she's fine with not having the benefits.
So any, on starting pay, or, I mean,
So she does have experience. I think the starting scale on that goes from 19 up to 23 based on experience, and I would highly recommend we give her as much as possible because she doesn't have to be really trained in this position, and she, like Rita told me, she handled everything from delinquent tax sales, everything. And that is something that she's gotten a lot of knowledge over the years from being the deputy tax commissioner. So to me, she has tons of experience. We're not paying her any benefits. So I would personally recommend that you start at the high scale.
well, I
think-
don't think that's really, I mean, I disagree with that, but, you know, you need to first see how somebody's going to work out, so, and it's just like Marja. We didn't start Marja at the high scale, and she had experience, so I'll go ahead and make the motion to hire her part-time, no more than 30 hours a week, for the tax position, tax clerk, starting at $22 an hour.
Okay. Do I have a second on that?
Second.
Okay. Let's do a roll call vote on that one then. Okay. Angie?
Yes.
Dr. Whaley?
Yes.
Okay. Christie?
Yes.
And Bill?
Yes.
Okay. I think you guys made a very good decision on that. That's wonderful. So moving on to Marja Burney, do I have a motion for her?
Yes, I'll make a motion to confirm the appointment of Marja Burney as the license, permit, and zoning clerk, starting at 22 per hour.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Let's do a roll call vote again. Bill?
Yes.
Christie?
Yes.
Dr. Whaley?
Yes.
Yeah, he said yes. Okay, Angie?
Yes.
Okay, and then for Mary Ann Walker. Do we
I'll
have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to hire Mary Ann Walker as a part-time office clerk. Is that right? Office?
Yeah, I think so.
Office
Office
clerk.
assistant? I think
Yeah,
that's what
office
you guys
assistant.
wanted. Yep.
At $20 per hour.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, and let's have a roll call vote. Bill?
Yes.
Christie?
Yes.
Dr. Whaley?
Yes.
He said yes. And Angie?
Yes.
Okay, I think you guys made some very good decisions there. I think that was good, very good employees, so that's wonderful. Okay, is there anything else?
Jack just asked me, I think y'all know, but the reason he's not here tonight is he's with the sequestered jury in Cherokee County and couldn't make the
Okay.
meeting tonight.
All right. Okay, I guess we have public comments. We do have several people, I believe. If you want to speak, come up to the mic and just give your name and address. You have 3 minutes. Can you get bills?
Hello, Cesar Martinez. I live in the county. I also have businesses in downtown Blue Ridge. Have for the past 14 years. I want to make sure that I start off by saying it concerns me as a business owner downtown, just listening to the city council meetings that I keep coming to over and over again. At the seems like every turn, every vote gets hammered by Angie and Bill and Jack, if Jack was here. Every turn is against the mayor. Doesn't matter what it is. You feel like you have to challenge. And I guess that's okay, but it seems like it's a little much at times. It worries me because there's some things that are going on against what I call the downtown businesses. I'll give you a great example. Most recently, the mayor purchased a van. The van was supposed to be used to shuttle people from the fairgrounds, not fairgrounds, but from the farmers market to downtown Blue Ridge for the businesses, to benefit the businesses. That van's not working right now. It's not working right now because you haven't been able to hire a driver, nor will you vote to extend any overtime to any employees you have right now. So because of that, downtown is not getting people from the farmers market down here. It's another example of what I call a discrimination against the businesses downtown, of which Ms. Arp has said many times she's against the growth of tourist growth in downtown. This is just another example. But you admonished the mayor for spending the $20,000. In fact, it was in a article.
I want to make a motion to adjourn this meeting. He's out of order, and you're allowing him to be out of order.
I'm not out of
Anymore. I
order.
make a
So,
motion to adjourn
Angie-
the meeting.
Angie, there is freedom of speech, and I was at a class just recently. I don't believe we can prohibit people from what they say. Do you?
So I make a
Jack.
motion to adjourn the meeting.
Is there a second?
You're not going to allow me to talk? Really?
You can
I'm
talk
not-
about anything to do with
Is there a
business.
second?
This is about
But
business.
if you want to sit there and lie about council
I'm-
members.
I'm not
no.
lying.
Yes, you lied. I've never said. that I was against business.
Sure
I'm a
you
business
have.
owner.
Not downtown, you're not.
Oh, absolutely I am.
Well, then why do you keep doing what you
I
do?
don't do anything, but it's not my
course you
job
do.
to make your business profitable. You know, I mean, and the mayor is, I mean, it's her job to. if
Would
she
you
bought
like
the-
me-
If she bought the van, then she should be the one, it's not on us. So you know what?
Would you
Talk
like-
about
would-
what
would you
need to
like
talk
me
about,
to sh-
but you're not gonna.
Would you like me to tell you other examples?
You know what? I could care less what you
Of
have to
course
say.
you do. Of
This
course
is
you
a
can.
council
Okay, guys, let's
professional
bring,
meeting.
let's bring the meeting to order,
A
please.
professional business
Okay,
meeting.
Angie, let's bring them,
Are you
everybody.
okay?
I'm perfectly okay, but I'm tired of your mouth.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I'm tired of your mouth because you get up here and, I mean, if you don't like what we do, then why don't you move into the city and run and see if you can get elected?
Okay, meeting is
Mm-hmm.
adjourned officially.
Thank you.
Meeting is adjourned. Meeting is adjourned.
That's what you need to do.
Is that right?
That's exactly right, but you wouldn't get elected.
Well, I'm gonna
You
make
can't- you
sure,
can't even-
I'm
yeah,
gonna make sure
well,
you don't get
Yeah,
elected
well,
again.
I got elected twice. Let's see if you can get.
And you
elected
got
twice.
thrown out once, and you're about to
No,
get thrown out
really?
again.
Really?
Thank you.
Meeting is adjourned. Oh. I'm sorry, Dr. White.